about now is the mentoring life cycle. As we said, it's a sort of set amount of time. And it's a little bit weird to think about a relationship ending before it's even started. But because your mentoring relationships are only going to be a short period of time, it's important to think about how you're going to start those, and also think about how you're going to end those as well. What we suggest is that you introduce yourself to them via email. So thinking about what you might want to put in an initial email to them, what's important to tell them, and that first email is going to start to get to know your mentees. But you need to be really clear about what your role is and the boundaries of your role. So you are not there for academic support, you're more there for pastoral support, but also for sharing your experiences. If there are practical things that you can help with, it might be useful to outline those in an email. But also thinking about confidentiality as well. Anything that your mentee says to you should be treated in the strictest confidentiality and shouldn't be passed on apart from in some certain circumstances. You might want to think about how you're going to communicate if you are able to meet them in face-to-face in the first few weeks, thinking about sort of setting up a meeting. It sounds a little bit silly, but make sure you ask in that initial email, ask them an open question, because that, even though they've requested a mentor, it gives them the permission to respond to you. If you just write an email which is lots of information and closed questions, they won't really, they might not see the opportunity to come back to you with questions that they might have themselves. So it could be something like, are you joining the institution for your PhD? Where did you do your undergraduate degree? It could be something about that, or what are you particularly looking forward to on your chosen programme? And then the way that the relationship works will be individual depending on your mentees. Everybody's individual. Some of them might want to communicate with you every week. They might want to set up a meeting every 2 or 3 weeks face to face. As long as that fits in with your timetable and other commitments, we say that you should be offering that where possible. Be really clear about maybe your own time commitments. So if you know that you are only going to check your university email twice a week because of your other commitments, then you can let them know that you check your university email twice a week, so they can expect to get an answer from you within 48 hours or a bit longer if that's the case for you. If you know you're on campus at a certain time each week, you can let them know that you're around then if they want to meet at that time. Just keep it in regular contact with them. And then as you go through the relationship, you'll be reviewing the things that you've discussed. You might be helping them set some goals at some point, and that might just be something as simple as filling in an application form for going to a conference or setting a meeting with their supervisor, just finding out about how the programme works. It is important in that sort of initial email to outline how long your relationship's going to be operational, I guess. And then when you're coming towards the end of that, so as Rob said, it's the end of January, just reminding your mentees that the mentoring relationship is coming to an end, and then thinking about if there's any things that you've discussed within that 3-4 month period, just reminding them of those things, and helping them to set some future goals as well. You might want to talk about them actually thinking about becoming a mentor themselves, but reflecting on what they've achieved whilst they've been working with you, any things that they're working towards, And if you know that they, or you feel that they might need some additional support, or just to make sure they know what support's available, just referring them on to the support in your own institution that they can go to after they're no longer sort of working with you. And also just to wish them well for the future. It sounds really straightforward and like common sense, but sometimes we forget to sort of think about those things and reflect on those things. So here are some things to think about in that initial email, and you might have other ideas yourself. And these are sort of focusing really on academic study, but there might be other questions you want to think about. You know, if they're doing this part-time, because some students will be doing it part-time. Do they have other commitments? Are they commuting? Some of the students, I know some of you might be commuting quite a distance to come to your course if you've got contact hours or researching hours. Just to sort of open that relationship and get to know them really.